Hi there, welcome to Ethereum Wyckoff Mile Speculation Weekly. We're looking at the weekly chart with all these Wyckoff tags on the screen. If you're new to these sessions, remember these sessions are not financial advice, they're for education research purpose only and for discussion with you and the online community, so feel free to leave a comment. Going back to the chart, so last time I have drawn this preliminary support. It looks like that it won't be very far from that, so I'll keep it there. And in terms of selling climax, I guess it may not be there yet. We'll have to see. However, even if it's selling climax, and even last time during 2022, there wasn't a test that went lower than the selling climax. There's still a chance that that would happen. So if we look at this, that should be the selling climax over here. However, there's a point where that the price may have gone lower than, or at least the same as the selling climax. It's more like a spring, if we want a technical term, before the price shoots up again. So that can still happen in today's case for Ethereum. So in terms of like even though we have seen a little bit of rebound over the past 2-3 days because of all these crazy tariffs announcements, it's still pretty much around the accumulation cycle or accumulations cycle level between 2022 and 2023. So assuming the crypto industry is going to continue and people are still willing to hold these cryptos, this price level would look interesting for some people because that's like pretty much the center line. This at this current price level is the center line of the accumulation cycle we had between 2024 to end of 2023. So it's very natural that there are some or quite amount of buying orders over here. Just that if those people have spare money and they are not going to need that very soon. Otherwise, if we're going to hit a level similar to what we had in 2022 near 1,000, or even like the lowest point was below 900, it's still, according to the long-term progression projection, you see this is slightly upwards given what happens historically and like let's say taking inflation into account. However, it can still hit as low as that level. That's what I'm trying to say, depending on how far ahead of the timeline it's going to hit. Like if it goes all the way to Jan 2026, that's getting closer to that. If the environment is getting really bad, it can go as low as 700. Some people would argue it's not possible. I guess only time can tell. So if we look at the daily chart, the price of Ethereum, even with those crazy price moves over the past few days, is still pretty much within the center line of the downward trend that I've drawn. So this is still well within this downward trending box. And remember, this box is extending all the way to the bottom of the long-term playground zone. Like I said, when we look at the daily chart, hopefully it doesn't go all the way to the bottom and stop somewhere near the levels that we have seen during the last mega accumulation cycle. Hopefully we'll see that like in a month or two time, like by middle of this year. Hopefully it will bottom out and then another accumulation cycle begins. let's hope that will happen. I guess many people would be happy if that happens. That's all for Ethereum for now. I'll move on to Bitcoin next. See you over there. And before finishing, remember this declining volume. Pay attention to that. It may well be the next leg downward. So